Good morning, gang. Happy Thursday morning. Okay, here we go again. It's no surprise, comes as no surprise to anybody, okay, that the globalists of the World Economic Forum, the entire Democrat Party, the socialists that run everywhere, are hell bent on making us some sort of world utopia, which we all know is never going to happen. Okay. But as we've all said, the only way this is ever going to be possible is if somehow the United States is on board. And as I've said many times, the Second Amendment is the only thing that keeps us from all falling into a worldwide tyranny. Now, what's the easiest way to topple the United States economically? It's going to be very difficult to do it militarily. We've talked about that many times because of the just physical location of the country. But if they can take us out economically, that's exactly the easiest way to create the demise of the U.S. It's no surprise to anybody as well that our economy sucks. Okay, Bidenomics is an abstract failure. We know that every time we go to the grocery store, the gas station, Home Depot, Walmart, wherever we go, that inflation is kicking our butt. We see that credit card balances are at an all-time high. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Repossessions are at an all-time high. Interest rates are climbing like crazy, and yet still people are borrowing money, which makes no sense to me, but it is what it is. So let's take a look at the bigger picture on how the globalist cartel is trying to destroy us. And let's take a look at some of the events of 2023 that are going on that are causing all of this and where we're headed forward. Okay. We all remember we left some $86 billion worth of equipment in Afghanistan, which of course is now being used against Israel. We know that we have spent so far $43 billion on military hardware in Ukraine, on top of some $160 billion that we've sent to Ukraine in cash to pay pensions, to keep businesses open just as a slush fund, of course, to pay for Zelensky's kickbacks, his wife's shopping trips, and of course 10% to the big guy. We can't forget about that part. Okay. And so now we have Israel. So let's take a look at this. Now, whether y'all know this part or not, every year the United States kicks Israel $4 billion for their defense. Okay. So again, we're paying for Israel to defend themselves. Well, with the events here the last 2 weeks, Israel's depleted a lot of their Iron Dome, right? And so now, according to the Times of Israel, which has just come out here in the last couple of days, Israel has asked the United States for $10 billion more in emergency military aid. Okay? And the aid package is actually being put together by Congress in coordination with the White House. Okay? Chuck Schumer, everybody's favorite liberal asshole, has said that U.S. lawmakers are discussing providing Israel with replacement ammunition for the Iron Dome. They're also talking about providing them with precision-guided bombs, JDAM kits, and other 155 millimeter ammunition. Now, correct me if I'm wrong about the 155 millimeter ammunition, but I thought we were out, that we had sent all that to Ukraine. So now we're going to take this, add all this up, 86 billion, 43 billion, 10 billion, you've got $160 billion worth of the military industrial complex building all this stuff, which is one of the biggest lobbyist groups to fund these senators and congressmen in regards to political donations. $160 billion worth of stuff created using your and my tax money, okay? And God knows how overpriced it is. I mean, again, let's remember the $200 toilets. And we get to see absolutely zero of it. As I talked about yesterday, we have 10% of the strategic petroleum reserve. Okay, we're running on empty for oil for our military. We're running on empty for troops in our military. We're running on empty for ammunition for our military. Hell, they closed down Lake City, right? For commercial sales because the military needs it all. You and I are getting sucked dry for Ukraine, for Israel, and our military needs more. So the civilians can't have it, so we can send it to Ukraine or we can send it to Israel. And all this causes, you and I have less goods on the shelves, i.e. no ammunition. A lot of you emailed me here in the last couple of days saying you've gone to either websites or your local gun stores and said, there ain't any 5.56 to be had. That was quick, huh? And we're paying for it all, okay? The intent is to bankrupt America. Now, I'm going to give you a second part of this, and if you've caught this coming up, you all know that back on the 9th, Robert F. Kennedy announced that he was going to run for president as an independent. And you can see all the stories saying, oh, he's going to take votes away from Biden. Oh, he's going to take votes away from Trump. And I mean, it depends on who you read. Kennedy being in means Trump's a lock to win. Kennedy being in the race means Biden's a lock to win. Okay, we don't know. All right, and I can see the argument on both sides makes sense. All right, but then we start digging into what Kennedy believes in. And I know so many people go, oh, he's anti-mandates for this and for the face diaper and everything, right? Okay, and everybody's like, oh, that's great. Biden's far left, Trump is far right, Kennedy's in the middle, and, the United States as a whole is basically in the middle, so Kennedy's probably the best candidate. I mean, I think he's polling somewhere around 12% or something right now. He's not quite to where Ross Perot was, but we're a year out, okay? But anybody catch what the latest thing that Kennedy came out and said? Again, let's talk about bankrupting the U.S. Yesterday, he came out and said he is reparations to the black community. Where we heard this before, okay? That all of a sudden we're going to take more tax dollars or printed dollars or borrowed money, however you want to count, and we're going to start distributing it to people who have no right to it. None. Okay, sorry. If you can show me that you were a slave, okay, then you can talk. Other than that, sorry, no. Okay. So that was one, okay, that'll cause massive inflation and cause more pain for the rest of us. But let's take a look at some of Kennedy's other policies. And remember, this is the guy that's trying to steal votes from both sides. And people are going, yeah, you know what? I like him. Okay? And I'll link this below so you can go read this. Should the United States raise taxes on the rich? Kennedy, yes. And again, I will say this over and over and over again. The rich, the wealthy, okay, are the business owners, your employer, okay? Sure, there are the Leonardo DiCaprios and the Jeff Bezoses out there, but, all right, let's take a look at how many people work at Amazon, right? But there's one. What should we do in regards to CBDC? Kennedy, the world should all go to CBDC. That's his position. We should all go to a blockchain type currency similar to Bitcoin, and that would be what we do. If you've caught this, the World Economic Forum is out there talking again about your digital wallet and the chip in your hand and this all came out here in the last day or so, about talking to companies about making the chip to microchip people. Okay, that way you'd have access to your digital wallet, which Kennedy is in favor of. Okay, so if you are interested in 15-minute cities and being digitally chipped, tracked, whatever we've talked about ad nauseum, Kennedy'd be the right guy. All right. Kennedy is for funding Planned Parenthood. He is pro-choice, okay, not pro-life. He wants to transition us all to a 4-day work week, okay? And I know where some people will say, hey, a 4-day work week is great. I only have to work 4 days. That also means that as a consumer, the businesses you go to are going to be open even less for you to get anything done, okay? Maybe retail stays open like they are now, but, I don't know, you want to go to your bank or you want to talk to your insurance company, you need to go see an attorney, whatever. Sorry, we're on a 4-day work week, okay? Going into other ones. He wants to continue the subsidies for farmers, okay? Now, we can go both sides on this, but it still makes no sense to me of paying people not to plant. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I know some of you guys out there are farmers, but many of you have told me that you make more money by getting paid not to plant something than to plant something. Yet we all scream about food prices. Well, it would bring food prices down. That's a good thing, okay? What we need to have there is more tax reform so the farmers aren't paying as much in the way of taxes, and so that they can turn a profit on their farm rather than not paying them out of the tax money so we don't have food, okay? Do we want a national sales tax? He's floated that idea as a good idea. There's a big problem with that. I've talked about that in the past too. But this is the thing. Are we bankrupting the U.S.? And is Klaus Schwab going, hey, this is cool. Joe's doing all our work for us. Or Kennedy's going to do all our work for us. We're in all these wars. And the World Economic Forum, out of this side of the mouth, is going, oh, war is so bad. Out of the other side, they're going, great, look at this. We're going to bankrupt the U.S. Okay? Makes it easier for us to take over. Question for all of you. Tell me what wars we were in between 2016 and 2020. None. We didn't get into any new wars. Biden's getting us into a whole bunch. Janet Yellen and Joe Biden both come out and said, the United States has no problem funding 2 wars at the same time. Really? Is it coming out of your paycheck, Janet? Is it coming out of your paycheck, Joe? Because it's sure coming out of ours. And we can see it when we're going, holy crap, there's too much month left at the end of my paycheck. That's a problem. I don't care what happens to the people of Ukraine. I'd like to see Hamas completely obliterated from the earth, but that is not my fight to have. If they come to the United States, then it's my fight to have. As for being over there, that's their problem, okay? I'm sorry, you get $4 billion a year and now you want more? We are not a charity. The United States people work. We earn what we have. I don't go to the store and say, you know what? I think I need a new car. I deserve one. And they go, here you go. But that's what these countries expect out of us. We need $10 billion. Okay, here you go. How are you going to pay for it? Oh, we'll just steal it from the people of the United States. That's where we're at. They're trying to bankrupt us. Most people don't see it. They're digging their heels in. You see all the people with their little blue and yellow pins on, or waving the Israeli flag or whatever it would be. And they think, oh, yeah, we've got to support this. How are you supporting this? You know, you don't need to wave an Israeli flag or a Ukrainian flag out on your front porch. Just put your wallet out there and say, take what you need, because that's what the government's doing to us. And too many people in this country are too effing blind to see it. Pinball out.